All right, so we have this old generator shed here that Jim built years ago. I've taken out all the old hardware out of it, and we're gonna salvage the base of this, as well as the parts for the roof, for our new outhouse. I figure I can do a double holer in that. It doesn't have to be a big outhouse, just needs to be sound, and that base is. So let's get this done. We're not sure how old this building was, but it had a good base as well as good trusses for the roof, so we decided to reuse it to build our outhouse. It had a lot of junk inside, and now it's all gone. I'm only going to save the joist for the roof. The rest of it is junk. The boards are rotted, so let's get it apart. I'm going to see if I can put a rope around that and just pick it up and carry it over where I want it. I'll be back in a minute. Where are you at? Okay, I just need to know where you're at so I don't hurt you. I can adjust that. It worked to get it up where from where I wanted it. What?
This is an example of things must first get worse before they get better.
Oh yeah. Just trying to find a way so I can get this undone easier. Might have to change where that's at. All right, let's try this again, guys. The rope I'm using is pretty cheap. It's got a lot of stretch. It's not like the old yacht rope I used to use on the boats. So I had to make adjustments a number of times. Good. Okay. You gotta tell me if I get close.
Okay.
I can't really see. Am I gonna go under?
I think so. Go slow.
It did take a little while to get this base moved, but it is in place and it's set up to be used as an outhouse. All right, so there's my Yanmar L90 I've got to work on. Just pulled it out of the old generator building. Let me show you that. So this is the old generator building. I have not done much with this except for pull things out of it since we've been here. However, that's about to change. This is all getting cleaned out. This is what's coming out next. This is an old generator head that Jim had put here. This is the one that was attached to the Yanmar that has since fried. These are some kind of heaters. I'm not sure. I've got to look into that. So that's going to come out. Then this is turning into my gold room. All this insulation that you're seeing in here is coming out and going to get replaced with fresh insulation. I'll put some plastic up on it for now until I get some board or make some board like you see Jim did here, doing some tongue and groove, but that stuff's so old it's falling apart. I will make use of this old building. I could put generators in it, but I like my generators where I can see them and work on them, not kind of isolated like this was. As you guys know, if you've seen some of the video of me installing the Predator, it's in my regular shop. So if I just dedicate this just to my gold room, it gets all my gold stuff out of my studio. Because I have things in there I need to work on and things to do, like my 3D printer and a laser engraver that I want to start doing work on, and it's hard to with all that stuff in there. Anyways, I'm gonna get this out of here. All right, so. Fingers just works, guys. Otherwise, it's gonna make a big boom. Now, I should have went in with a tape measure and measured a bunch of stuff here. As you can see here in a minute, there's gonna be a problem with getting this out. This process here was the part I was worried about the most of all the work we were doing on this day. One wrong move and I could take out the area for the door, take out part of the floor, take out the wall. You never know what could happen. Oh, I had to stop before I tear down the building because it ain't right. I gotta take that pulley off or that box off, and I don't know which one I'm gonna have to do. See that I disconnect and try to cherry pick it to the window, and I'd rather not do that. All right, so it's about to come out. I took all the bolts off the carriage that it was on for running the generators, and I'm gonna toss that out the door. Then we're gonna slide that over towards the door and hook it up and yank it out of here. It took forever to do because Jim likes to use 10 different size nuts and bolts for one project. So, I mean, it was an 18 millimeter, 17 millimeter, 16 millimeter, and a 19 millimeter on this thing. Let's get it out of here. I've had Sarah over here supervising because it's heavy and I don't want it to fall on my leg. It falls on me, my leg's broke. And then we're gonna see if we can get the little green one out. This is just the steel frame it was riding on. I can recycle or something. Well, now you guys can see what it's gonna look like in here. Honey, there's oil and grease and all that stuff in here.
Bad.
Sarah, do me a favor. Go over by the front of the trapper cabin and grab one of those smaller plastic black totes. I want to see how it'll fit in here. You guys ready to see that? I am. Yes, I did bang up a few things doing this. I broke part of the trim down there, but that's all replaceable. It's just a piece of plywood for a door. It will get fixed properly. This will get a window in it. But I think this is going to work for a gold room.
This one?
Yes, ma'am. Alright, so that'll fit over there.
Excellent.
I need to get a couple of them that I can put there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one long sluice over here. And it's going to be a double where it go down, if I can find the stuff to build it. I'll have a smaller one over here, and then I'll have my cleanups over here. Just got to figure out some lighting in here. I got a heater on the way, so that's an easy part. Alright, so this is the outside of the old generator building. Yes, there's a lot of junk around it. It's stuff that we've got to get rid of. That is actually an old folding sled. I don't know where it came from. It was here on the property. These are the generator heads that we pulled out of here. I'm going to find out about this one here. Find out if it can be worked on. It's not creating clean power. It could be a problem with the Yanmar too. So I don't know. I'm going to save this one here so I can test it out. That's actually an 8 kilowatt power head. So if I can match that to like a 10 or 12 horsepower diesel engine, I could have some really good power here if I can get that to run correctly with the right hertz. This one, I don't know anything about. I'm going to hook a motor up to it just to see if it'll produce any kind of power. And if it doesn't, it's getting buried. I'll take off anything salvageable, stuff like that, like the pulley can come off there. I mean, it spins nicely, but just because it spins doesn't mean it's going to create power. But then I've got radiators here. Jim used a lot of generators that had just spaces where you could put water in the top of them, kind of like the old hit and miss motors. And that's how he would keep them cool, having it go through that. It was a thermal siphon. So this is all the stuff that came off the old building that you see me tear down a few minutes ago. And that's the inside of that. We'll see more of that as I start working in it. This is the back side of it. And the roof is going to need to be redone. The rafters are good. Roofing material, I'm just going to take it off. I have OSB I can put on there. And I'll get more tin. I was going to take this fuel tank down. However, I'm thinking I'm going to leave it there and put fuel in it for when I'm working out here. I'll need some way to heat, so I'll have to clean the tank or put a new tank up there, reassemble all the piping, and I'll have a good amount of fuel to run out there. Up in the top, there are old fans, more radiators, and insulation. So that'll get cleaned up a little bit and things will be taken out. All these little holes that are on here, I'll figure out what to do with those, how to cover them and fill them so no wind gets in. I believe I have a window that will fit in that, so we're going to try that here soon. But one thing I'm worried about is I've got to drop this tree, and this tree, and that tree. I've got to take these wires off because those are going to be going back into this to give this building some power from the main house. Because it's not something I'll be out here working in daily. I can do that and not worry about the electrical consumption. This coming Monday, October 27th, Sarah and I will be doing a live, so make sure you come check us out for that. Also, on the 26th, Rodney from Pure Alaska and myself will be having our podcast, Ask an Alaskan, with special guests Gary and Shailene Simple from Enigmatic Glitchin' and E.G. Wife. They're an amazing couple with an amazing history up in Veneti, Alaska. Make sure you come and check it out. We hope to see you all there. Have a great day. Bye for now.